Hiya folks, and welcome back to Fishing with Den. And this is day one of the Feederfest festival, two-day festival. Yesterday was the warm-up match, and if you watched the video for that, you'll see I came second, so quite pleased about that. But today I'm in the sort of the main open area of this huge reservoir. There's not that much wind, but you can see the breakers, and around there they're white caps, so I think I'm actually not too badly off. Some of the guys around there are going to struggle a bit, but hey. So anyway, this one is fished just like last year, pretty much to World Championship rules. So the only thing you can use is a cage feeder. You've got to have at least a 50 centimetre tail, or below the feeder's got to be 50 centimetres. Mine's probably 60 or more. Baits wise, you're limited to 12 litres of ground bait and 2 litres of other bait. But then they say, well, you can only really use sweet corn or maggots or maybe some worms or something like that. So I've only got sweet corn to use as bait. Can't use bread, can't use pellets, can't use anything like that whatsoever. But basically, those are the World Championship rules. So, 5-hour match, and in literally a few minutes time, a few seconds even, we're going to have a 15-minute pre-baiting period. And what that means is that for 15 minutes we can throw our feeders out. You can't feed any other way except through the feeder. We can throw our feeders out as many times as we want and just get the swim prepared. Then at 10 o'clock the whistle goes and we spend the next 5 hours possibly not catch anything, but hopefully catching quite a few fish. So that's where we're at. We're just waiting for that whistle to go now for the pre-baiting period, and I'll get back to you as soon as that happens. Okay, so the pre-baiting period has started. So I filled the feeder with ground bait and corn. Can't put any bait on the hook obviously because you're not actually in the match yet, and I'm going to punch that out about 45 metres. I'm going to crosswind. It's not the most accurate thing I've done this week, but punch that out about 45 metres and get some bait down on the bottom. I've got a drop of what looks like 6 or 7 seconds to reach the bottom, so I've got a reasonable depth out there. Just strike off the bait and repeat the process another half a dozen or so times until at 10 o'clock the whistle goes, and hopefully we'll be straight into fish. Having said that, I don't think on this peg he was into fish all that much yesterday, but things will change. Okay, well I've got 5 balls in so far, or 5 feederfuls in. I'm just packing it with corn, and this is about a 50 gram feeder. These are the homemade ones I've shown you in the last few weeks, and they seem to fly pretty straight and they seem to go pretty well, so I'm really pleased with them. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link up now so I can show you what they're all about. But basically they're just like any other plastic cage feeder, except the difference is that they have slide-in weights, so I can change the weights easily if I need to. Right, that's as much as I'm going to need to do. It's probably taken me about 10 minutes to get these feederfuls in, so I'm going to have another cup of tea and then we'll get started hopefully in about 5 minutes time. Okay, whistle's just gone, that's 10 o'clock, so get it out there. Try and keep it in the same spot as I put the bait. Crosswind's a bit of a nuisance, but I'm actually quite happy that it is a bit breezy today. Hopefully we'll bring the fish to feed, because they didn't really feed as well as they should have in the practice warm-up match yesterday. That's just started, so I'll get back to you as soon as the action starts. Well, that can't be bad, can it? I think we're only about 10 or 15 minutes in and I've got a fish. Well, if it's anything like yesterday, had that one at 20 minutes in and then never had another one for 3 hours. So anyway, let's see how we go with this. And I notice already everyone's looking around going, oh, he's got a fish. I think I'm probably the first one to catch by the look of things, or at least have a bite, so it's fighting a bit strange, but hopefully we'll get it in. Don't think it's foul hooked, it's just kind of coming towards me okay. Now, How are these waves going to treat me for landing fish? I think we've got some grass on the line as well from some sort of weed bed out there. And yay! Oh, first fish. Always happy with your first fish. It's not a big fish, but it's a decent fish. This is that grass I was talking about. Right, so that's one. Hopefully, one of many. Okay, well, second bite, and I think we're probably about 25 minutes in, so it's taken me a little bit longer than I'd hoped to get a bite. I've seen one other person catch a fish, but I've also got a bed of that grass stuff out in front of me, and when I last pulled in without a fish on, it actually caught on that, and I had to not pull for a break but put the rod down again and pull. So that's going to be a bit of an issue today. So the plan is catch a fish every cast and you won't catch on the grass. Again, I don't think it's a very big fish. This one literally just came in, and there he is. Not as big as yesterday's by any means, are they? Oh, that was handy. One of the least fighting-y fish that I've had so far. But I don't care. Fish is a fish, and that's two. I just looked at the clock and we're 45 minutes in. Some of the other guys are starting to catch around there now as well. Haven't seen anybody down there catch yet though. Certainly yesterday the weights in this area all came round from the inlet round there, and there's two more pegs in there today, so don't really know what to expect from there. Certainly would have been a good place to be out of the wind. Fishing at about 45 metres out again, maybe 50 at times, and I'm using the elastic as the marker, although I have put the line clip on occasionally because I can't hear the elastic marker going through the ring, so I know when to stop the rig. It gets quite noisy with these waves breaking on shore behind me. Just taking it nice and steady. You can't afford to lose fish. The guy that came third yesterday wasn't far behind me, and I think he lost 8 fish during the match. I only lost 1. So I found that last year as well. I had the same position as him insofar as I lost a lot of fish and I got beaten into second place overall because the guy that beat me didn't lose as many. And again, this is decided on the overall weight over 2 days. So if you catch, say, £100 today and £10 tomorrow, you're likely not to win it. You've got to do well both days, really. Decent enough fish though. Oh yeah. Don't do it. Don't do it. Now you can do it. 4. Is it 4? Yeah, 4. I lose track. Actually, that's a decent fish. Not bad at all. It's nicely lip hooked. Barbless hook, of course. Ow. Arthritis playing up again. Right. Get back in there. All I'm doing, pinch of corn in each time, plug it off with ground bait, all basic stuff, and then just punch it out there. Crosswind's a bit of a pain. There we go. Okay. Takes about 6 or 7 seconds to sink, and I think that's about us on the bottom now. That's it, guys. Wash, rinse, repeat. I think that's what they say. Had an issue with the GoPro, so I'm trying to sort it out here, and the rod went round. Good job I was standing next to it, wasn't it? Oh. For some reason the power seems to be an issue on the GoPro at the moment. Oh. Welcome back, guys. There was a slight pause there while the GoPro got sorted out. We're now an hour and 20 minutes in, and I've got 7 fish. Had to wait for the battery to recharge a little bit. Not sure what happened there, sorry about that. But yeah, things are going according to plan today. Obviously, as always, you could do with them coming a little bit quicker, but that's just fishing. But 7 fish in an hour and 20 minutes is pretty much on target if it was to go all the way through for 25 fish. Only had 16 yesterday, so if I could get possibly 25 today, I'd be over the moon. Again, not seeing too many other fish caught, not seeing any down there. There's a few coming from around there, but I can't see the guys in the corner, as I've mentioned. So, yeah, all in all, quite happy. Just been listening to some chatter from the lads just to the right of me there, and some of them are struggling, but Mark right on the very end in that inlet has probably got 13 fish. Well, I've got 7 and we're an hour and a half in. I'm doing okay, obviously not winning it, but yeah, doing okay. And remember, it's on aggregate weight over the 2 days, so always in with a chance. Things have slowed down a little bit now, and in fact the waves have got a lot less. It's actually quite pleasant now, but since since the wind disappeared, the bites have slowed down a bit. Well, I may have spoken too soon about everything being on course earlier on, because I think we're now coming up for sort of 11:45, 12 o'clock time, and I'm only on that sort of 7 fish again. After the wind dropped, died down a little, it really has gone quiet, and this is the first bite I've had for ages. So, I don't know if you heard that. They're saying that the guy on the end's on 16 fish. Well, I'll be on half of that if I get this one in, which is 8. But I'm still sort of there or thereabouts. Of course, if the guy on the end does really well and does the same tomorrow, that's the end of things. But again, there'll be prizes for each day as well, so nul desperandum, as they say. Right. Oh, fish, he just tried to jump out the net. He got right to the lip. Wow. Don't need that. Really thought he was going to get out then. He's the biggest fish I've got. Right. So this time then, fish. Okay. 8 it is. Let's hope we start to get a few more bites together. This is too slow. Yeah. Nice little bite there. Again, I think it's a small fish though. Could do with some of those ones that are £8 like yesterday's. Come on, fish, get bigger. Again, we just reel him in. He'll fight under the rod tip. Give me jip. Arthritis in both of them now. Hadn't really noticed the right hand one so much before, but doing this the last couple of days has really made them ache. We've still got tomorrow and Monday to go. Monday, by the way, is let's call it a warm down match. It's just a sort of a knock up. Right, that's 13. And we are, oh hang on, we are 12:15, so 2¼ hours in. not quite halfway through. 13 fish. Well, we're 2.5 hours in, just fractionally over. That's halfway, and this will be number 15, providing I get it. So that is actually on course, isn't it, really? Just got to hope the guy around the corner slows down. Shame there's no big 8-pound fish like there was yesterday, because that really made a difference. I really could do with a cup of tea though. I don't get too excited anymore about you know, coming anywhere. It's always nice to win, obviously, but I'm not as fanatical as I used to be about not eating, drinking or anything else during the match. These days I'll stop and have a cup of tea if I feel like it. I mean, this is a good match and there's some world-class anglers on it. There's 2 or 3 people here who fish for their country. Wales, Australia. I think there's a South African that may well have. I don't know if it's the same guy as last year, but yeah, the standard of angler is pretty damn good. Not huge. Alright, come on fish. That'll do. 15. Right, well we're 3.5 hours in, I've got 19 fish. I keep hearing lots about what they're catching up there, and you know, you really don't know, so still in with a chance. Well, all being well, this will be 25, which is where the target was that I was aiming for. It won't do me any good though, because people have got more than that, but that's actually not bad. Let's see what else we can do. There's probably still just about an hour to go, so possibly 30 on the cards. Oop. Everybody seems to be catching now anyway. Certainly up here. I gather down the bottom there, one of the really good anglers, Richard, struggling. I think he's had 1 bite and 1 fish. Just goes to show they aren't everywhere. Taken off over there, look. Ferrari carp again. Come on fish. I know I'm saying that a lot today, but it's hurting me thumbs. Right. 25 it is. Right, quick update, and half an hour to go, and I've got 29 fish. So, all being well, I might just have a chance to get another 2 or 3. $33. I mean, we're now at 10 minutes to go. Can I get this in and get another one on? Don't want to lose it, so it's not going mad. But I think, as I said, this will be 33. He's kind of doing that sluggish sort of thing, so he's either going left to right, or he's just a fairly reasonable sized fish that's plodding along. I'll actually be glad when this ends, because my thumb's killing me. That was not as big as I first thought. Okay, well, we'll get him in quick as we can. Well, fish, that'll do it. 33. Right, got a chance for 1 more, I reckon. I don't know if you heard that. Dave next to me said it's depressing sitting next to me, or words to that effect.
What's that, 32 now?
33, mate. Well, that's the end of the match, and I ended up with, I think it was 33 fish, wasn't it? So quite pleased about that. And I won't get the results until tonight. We're all going to go back to our hotel rooms. The organiser will sort out the results and publish them, so we'll all know where we're at for tomorrow morning's start of the match. So I'll see you tomorrow morning. Hi folks, and welcome back for day 2 of Feederfest. And I've drawn in the wrong area. I'm drawn to the left of the boat ramp. We've got boats going all across us. I've just had one pulling up out there. I've had 2 dogs catching ball in there, which is fine. Obviously it's a recreation area. And the worst part of all is that a lot of this area didn't actually catch much yesterday. So, as luck would have it, Ivan was on this peg yesterday, so I got a mozzie in there. And I think he had something like 17 kilos, which is what, best part of 40 pounds. Also along this bit there were some either blanks or virtual blanks, and were 1 or 2 decent weights. But as I say, I'm looking at a sort of a so-so peg. As for yesterday's results, it was won by Mark with 183 pounds, which is a really good weight, and it was from somewhere up that way. As it turns out, I was second with 141 pounds. Third had 140 pounds, 0.6, so I beat him by less than half a pound, which was another mark. And fourth had 122 pounds. So that being the case, I did well yesterday, and I needed to draw well today, and I needed the guy that won it, Mark, to not draw well. And unfortunately, as is always the case with fishing, I didn't draw well, and he drew a blinder, a real flyer. Well, I say that, it's up in the area where we were yesterday, and there was some really good weights up there. So I suppose I could be fishing for second place today. I don't think we got much chance of getting first. He was already 40 pounds ahead of me to start with, but as I say, we don't know what's going to go on down here. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, look, it's time for the 15-minute pre-baiting period, which we're going to do now. The lads are all chucking in already, so I better start doing the same. Same rules as yesterday. You can only put it in with the feeder. Can't do anything else. Can't put any bait on. And I'm going to put probably 6 or 7 balls out there at sort of 40-45 meters again. Haven't got much depth. When you put the bomb out to get the depth, it kind of comes out at like 1.5 seconds of drop, so not good. Okay, well that's 7 feederfuls in there. Talking about feeders, I'm using my own homemade feeders. The body is 20 grams, the weight on this one is 20 grams, so overall total of 40 grams. And if we're talking tackle then, rod is the Free Spirit CTX power feeder. This one's a 12 foot, but I've got a 13 foot there. Reel is the Horizon X 5000. Like that one. Not so sure about the line clip. You do have odd issues with that coming unclipped occasionally, but hey, good reel. Line is Guru drag line. I'm using 8 pounds, which is 0.28 millimeters. Hook length is 6 pounds Guru drag line, which is 0.25, and the hook is a size 10, which is pretty much towards the maximum allowed in these matches. And it's a B911. So that's the situation with all of that. I've got myself ready, and again I'll come back to you when the match actually starts. Actually flat calm today. Yesterday, as you probably saw, the weather was pretty horrendous. Certainly to start with, got better later, but it did muddy the water up, and I haven't got a huge amount of depth here. So it's gin clear, unfortunately. Get myself sorted out properly and see how we go. So we're half an hour in. I haven't had a touch, no liners, nothing. The other guys to the right of me haven't had a bite. Haven't seen anybody to the left of me catch anything. But it's a bright sunshining day, and there's been no wind whatsoever, and it's fairly shallow. So conspiring to be against us, I'm afraid. Obviously, you know, we're only half an hour in, but with all the feed that's gone in for the last couple of days in the day one and the warm-up match, you'd have hoped that the fish would have been here like they normally are, but at the moment it's not looking positive. But as I say, you never know with these matches. And that's the end of the first hour. None of us have had any indication whatsoever. On a positive note, if there is one today, there's a little bit of a breeze blowing up, so we have got a little bit of ripple on the water out there now, so hopefully, and we live in hope, we'll get them moving shortly. Oh, keep this one quiet, I've got a bite. It's about 5 minutes after I did my last little piece for you, and first indication of any variety. Take it nice and steady. Off towards Richard to my right now. But he's kind of just swimming at me. He's going to go nuts underneath me, I tell you. There we are, down here. Just got to get it in first, mate. Just got to get it in. It's not big, but very welcome. Yeah. Come on then. You always want the first one to stay on. I know I say this all the time, but it just gives you a bit more confidence. The last thing you need is for the first one to do that and come off. See what I mean about fighting under my feet? Come on, fish. There we go. One fish, we're in. Wow. Okay, so that's probably about £3, which is decent enough size. It's nicely hooked in the bottom lip. And his fin's caught in my brand new landing net. Yesterday I had one dorsal fin went straight through the net, and when I pulled it, tore the base out of the net, so I had to put a brand new net on, look. Anyway, can't complain, can you? That's one. About 10 minutes later from the first fish and second bite, which is good news. Again, it's just coming in towards me. I have no idea if it's big, small or what, because he's literally just swimming straight in. Oh, it's unusual for carp, isn't it, just to keep doing this all the time. And in a second we should be down in front of me. There we are, look. Woken up a little bit and fighting now. Don't think he's a big one again. £2 or £3 probably. But it looks like they're going to be precious today, because I'm gathering that up the good end up there, they haven't been catching so far either, so you never know with this fishing game, do you? Two. Feel better now. I was just about to tell the camera to turn on so I could do a quick update for you, because we're 2 hours in and I hadn't had anything since the last update, which was 2 fish, and as I went to open my mouth the tip went round. So all a bit slow today, but I gather it's still pretty slow up the top as well. So all is not lost. I'm not going to win it because I'm £40 behind yesterday's winner already, and if I do £40 today I'll be quite surprised, but could manage a second. You never know, do you? Depends on how Mark, who came third, very close to me, does today. If I beat him, then yeah, maybe. Small fish though. 3. Woo! That pulled round quite nicely, didn't it? I gather they're catching up at the top end where I was yesterday now, so. And Mark, the guy that came third with a few ounces behind me, is up to 10 or 11 fish. And if I get this one, I'll only be on 5, so. Yeah, looks like I've drawn out of it today. That's the thing, you've got to draw well both days sometimes. But that's fishing for you, it's just the way it goes. And there's still 2.5 hours to go. No, he's coming at me again. It's almost like I'm reeling in, isn't it? There he is. Smaller, but it's a fish. Five. Slow, slow, slow. All nicely lip hooked though. Very few that are swallowing it. Well, you got to laugh, guys. I hadn't had a bite for ages. There's only an hour to go, and I was thinking I'll get up and do a bit of relief. And as I stood up, I heard the rod making a noise. So here I am with a fish on, and it's been desperately slow, I'm afraid. This will be number 6, but with an hour to go, it's not going to really do me any good. The 2 guys that side of me haven't had a bite. At least 2 of the guys down there haven't had a bite. Further down, I think they've had odd fish, but so far this is, as I said right at the start, I've drawn dead. I'm right out of the possibilities, but hey, it's a nice day, so we'll go on till the end. Never say die, you never know, might just get a place somehow, but probably unlikely today. Trouble is now I keep my landing nets in the wrong position. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I don't know. I'd only just cast in as well. Having sat there for all that time. Okay. And the fish are quite small today too. And 6, yay, go Den. Well, at least I've had a few fish anyway. Right, as soon as I've done this, I've got to go and relieve myself, as they say. So I'll get back to you shortly with an update as to how things are going. Well, it seems I've got a floating island in front of me now, eh? In the form of a loose jet ski. You can guarantee that someone's going to turn up in a second with another jet ski at full speed to pick it up. And he's right over where I'm fishing now. Never know, I might get a bite, eh? Here comes his mate in the jet ski, straight across the swims of everybody that's here. Here we go, look. At least he's gone a bit further out. Oh no, he's turning in to right on top of my swim. Well, I think that's me done for the day with a jet ski just going over the top of where I'm fishing. Literally. You wouldn't believe it, would you? Well, maybe you would. No, I think he just fell in now. Oh, I don't know. Now I'll start it up and I'll go straight back across with him. Look at that, told you didn't I? Straight across the top of where I'm fishing. Straight across the top. Amazing. GoPro, stop recording. Well folks, just a few minutes to go now, and as expected after that jet ski incident where they blasted all through the area where I was fishing, I haven't had anything at all. Mind you, I wasn't catching much before, but that certainly put the kibosh on it, didn't it? Anyway, I'm absolutely certain that I've probably come nowhere in the overall scheme of things, because obviously drawn pretty much a bad area today. The lads around me have still got no fish whatsoever. I've still got the 6. But I did come second yesterday, as I said, so hopefully I'll pick up a little bit of money. And it's going to be an hour or two before we get the results, but they are going to do them today. So for you, it'll only be a couple of seconds and we'll find out how things went. And for me, I'll get packed up and probably get the results in about an hour and a half. Okay, well, as you can see, I'm back home now, but the results obviously are in. And as I expected, I dropped down the rankings. Obviously, after day 1, I was second overall. But because I drew to the left of the boat ramp, it really just was flogging a dead horse, as they say. I ended up with just over 11 kilos, or about 25 pounds. The guys to the right of me never had a bite. The guy to the left of me had 1 fish. I think the guy the other side of him had a blank. So, you know, 25 pounds was probably the best I could do, but it did actually drop me down to 5th place overall on the main event. And again, not to be sniffed at, no money of course for the overall event, but as I said before, I did come second on day 1, so I picked up a bit of money for that. I came second on the warm-up match, so I picked up a bit of money for that. So that helped to offset the cost of the holiday, and of course it was a holiday. So the main thing was, I enjoyed it, and I hope you did too. And really, that's all there is to say, except bye for now.